Have you ever tried to save money and ended up feeling, well, poor? That constant feeling of restriction, of saying no to yourself, of watching every single penny. It's exhausting. It makes saving feel like a punishment, not a path to freedom. What if there was another way? A way to build your savings, to become financially secure, but to do it from a place of abundance, peace, and even joy. In Japan, there is a deep-seated cultural approach to money that isn't about deprivation at all. It's about respect, intention, and finding wealth in things that money can't buy. It's a philosophy that allows you to save consistently without ever feeling like you're missing out. Today, we're going to explore 10 of these powerful principles that can completely reframe your relationship with money and help you build a richer life in every sense of the word. Let's begin with a foundational idea, a shift in how we even look at our spending. It's about moving from mindless consumption to mindful choice. Before you buy something, whether it's a morning coffee or a new jacket, you pause and ask a series of quiet questions. Not just, can I afford this? But do I truly need this? Will this bring me lasting joy, or is it a fleeting desire? How will I feel about this purchase tomorrow, next week, next year? This isn't about guilt. It's about empowerment. It's the practice of treating every dollar you spend as a conscious vote for the kind of life you want to live. Imagine you're in a store, holding an item. Instead of an automatic tap of your card, you take a breath. You consider its journey to you and its future in your home. This small pause is a powerful act of self-respect. It transforms spending from a reactive habit into a deliberate, intentional act. Over time, this practice naturally filters out the impulse buys and the things you acquire to fill a void, leaving you with only the things that genuinely add value to your life. Your bank account grows, but more importantly, your life becomes less cluttered with meaningless possessions and more filled with purpose. Next, we embrace a beautiful concept that goes far beyond just money: the art of leaving no waste. This philosophy is about honoring the full potential of everything you own. It's a deep-seated respect for resources. Think about the food in your kitchen. It's not just about eating leftovers to save money. It's about seeing the broccoli stalk not as trash, but as the base for a delicious soup. It's about using the entire lemon, the juice, the zest, the peel for cleaning. This mindset extends to everything. A shirt with a small tear isn't discarded. It's mended with care, its life extended. A glass jar isn't just recycled. It's washed and repurposed to store grains or hold flowers. This isn't an act of scarcity. It's an act of creativity and gratitude. It makes you realize how much abundance is already around you. When you practice this, you stop seeing the world in terms of what you need to buy next, and start seeing the hidden value in what you already possess. This perspective shift is profound. You're not just saving money on groceries or clothes. You are actively participating in a cycle of respect and resourcefulness that makes you feel incredibly wealthy in spirit. A wonderful, tangible expression of this philosophy is the culture of the homemade, portable meal. Packing your own lunch isn't seen as a chore or a sign that you can't afford to eat out. It is viewed as an act of self-care, a small, creative ritual. It's about the mindful process of preparing food for yourself or your loved ones. It's about the pleasure of opening a container at midday to find a balanced, nourishing meal that you created with your own hands. This saves an incredible amount of money over time, of course, but the feeling it cultivates is not one of frugality. It's a feeling of control, of health, and of quiet pride. You are fueling your body with intention, rather than grabbing whatever is convenient and expensive. Think of it as investing 30 minutes in the morning to create a moment of peace and satisfaction for your future self. It's a small, daily deposit into your well-being and your savings account, a practice that nourishes both your body and your financial health simultaneously. Now, let's talk about the space you live in. A cluttered home can often lead to a cluttered mind and cluttered finances. There's a simple but powerful rule that can bring clarity to both. For every new item that comes into your home, one item must leave. This isn't about forced minimalism or getting rid of things you love. It's a gatekeeper for your life. Before you buy that new book, you must consider which book on your shelf will you pass on. Before you purchase a new sweater, you must decide which one you are ready to donate. This simple practice does two things. First, it dramatically slows down impulse buying. The act of choosing something to let go of forces you to truly evaluate if the new item is worth the trade. Second, it cultivates a deep appreciation for the things you already own. You become a curator of your own life, surrounded only by objects that are useful, beautiful, or deeply meaningful. Your home becomes a sanctuary, not a storage unit. And the financial benefit is a natural side effect. You buy less, you want less, and you find more contentment in the space you've mindfully created. This leads us to a greater philosophical shift, prioritizing memories over materials. There's a growing understanding that the happiness we get from buying a new object is often fleeting, while the joy we get from an experience can last a lifetime. This is about consciously directing your financial resources toward things that enrich your soul. Instead of the latest gadget that will be outdated in a year, consider saving that money for a weekend trip with a loved one. Instead of a designer handbag, invest in a class to learn a new skill: pottery, a language, cooking. These experiences build what you could call a memory portfolio. They become a part of who you are. They give you stories to tell, skills to use, and connections to cherish. When you look back on your life, you won't remember the brand of your television. You will remember the feeling of watching the sunrise from a mountaintop, the taste of a meal you learned to cook yourself, and the laughter you shared with friends. By shifting your spending this way, you are investing in your own happiness. It's a form of wealth that can never be lost or stolen, and it makes the choice to skip a material purchase feel like an easy and wise decision. Let's delve deeper into the idea of a careful, intentional life. This is the practice of treating your everyday routines and possessions with a sense of ceremony and respect. It's about taking the time to do things properly. It means not just gulping down your tea, but taking a moment to savor its warmth and aroma. It means carefully polishing your leather shoes so they last for decades, not just a season. It means folding your clothes with care at the end of the day, creating order and peace. This may sound unrelated to finance, but it is deeply connected. When you live this way, you cultivate a profound sense of gratitude for what you have. Your possessions are not disposable. They are partners in your daily life. By caring for them, you extend their lifespan dramatically. You no longer need to constantly replace things because the things you own are well-maintained and loved. This approach combats the throwaway culture that drains our wallets. Taking the time to properly care for your belongings is an act of abundance. It sends a message to your subconscious that what you have is valuable and worthy of your time and attention, which in turn makes you feel rich in the present moment. Part of this richness comes from realizing that entertainment and joy don't have to come with a price tag. There is immense value in finding pleasure in simple, often free activities. It's about rediscovering the joy of walking through a beautiful park and noticing the way the light filters through the leaves. It's about spending an afternoon at the local library, lost in a world of books. It's about taking a different route on your walk home, just to see your neighborhood from a new perspective. In Japan, there is a deep appreciation for the changing of the seasons, celebrating the cherry blossoms in spring or the vibrant leaves in autumn. These are national events, yet they are entirely free. By actively seeking out these simple pleasures, you decouple your happiness from your spending. You train your mind to find beauty and contentment in the here and now, in the world that is already around you. Your desire for expensive, commercially produced entertainment diminishes, not because you're forcing it, but because you've found something more authentic and fulfilling. Your life becomes richer in experience, while your expenses naturally decrease. Another pillar of a wealthy life has little to do with money and everything to do with people. It's the cultivation of meaningful connections. Building a strong community is one of the most powerful yet overlooked financial strategies. When you have strong bonds with friends and neighbors, a different kind of economy emerges, one based on mutual support and generosity. This can look like a neighbor sharing extra vegetables from their garden. It can be friends deciding to host a potluck dinner at home instead of spending a fortune at a restaurant. It can be swapping skills. You help a friend with their resume, and they help you fix a leaky faucet. This isn't about transactional thinking. It's about fostering genuine relationships where helping each other is natural. This social wealth creates a powerful safety net. It reduces the need to pay for services and provides emotional support that is truly priceless. It reminds us that true security doesn't come from a number in a bank account, but from the network of people who care about us. Investing your time and energy in these relationships is one of the highest return investments you can ever make. This brings us to the importance of shifting our time horizon. So much of modern consumer culture is built on instant gratification. We see it, we want it, we buy it now. A more powerful approach is to adopt a long-term vision. This means favoring quality over quantity and patience over impulse. Instead of buying a cheap, fast fashion coat that will fall apart in a year, you consciously save for a classic, well-made coat that will last a decade or more. The initial cost is higher, but the cost per wear is dramatically lower. This isn't about restriction, it's about making a wise investment in your future self. It feels empowering to save for something of true quality. The anticipation becomes part of the pleasure. When you finally make the purchase, it's not a fleeting thrill. It's a satisfying culmination of your patience and planning. This mindset applies to everything from kitchen tools to furniture. By choosing durable, timeless items, you are building a life of lasting value. You step off the endless treadmill of replacing cheap things, and instead surround yourself with quality that endures. This is the very definition of living a rich life. Finally, let's talk about the mindset you bring to your finances each day. It's about adopting a beginner's mind. This means approaching your money without the baggage of past mistakes or the anxiety of a perfect future. It's about letting go of judgment. You didn't budget perfectly last month? That's okay. Today is a new day. A beginner's mind is curious and open. It looks at a bank statement, not with fear, but with a simple desire to understand. Where is my money going? Is it aligned with my values? This approach removes the shame and guilt that so often paralyze us when it comes to money. It allows you to be present with your financial reality, whatever it may be, and to make small, gentle adjustments. It's not about a radical, painful overhaul. It's about a continuous, compassionate practice of awareness. By treating each day as a fresh start, you give yourself the grace to learn and grow. This gentle, non-judgmental awareness is the key to creating sustainable financial habits that don't feel like a struggle, but rather like a natural part of your mindful, intentional life. So, as we see, the Japanese approach to saving money is not a collection of tips and tricks. It is a holistic philosophy. It's about seeing your financial life as an extension of your personal values. It's about intention, respect, gratitude, and long-term vision. It's about understanding that true wealth isn't about accumulation, but about contentment. It's about building a life that is so rich in experiences, relationships, and simple pleasures that the desire for mindless consumption simply fades away. Your savings grow not because you are depriving yourself, but as a natural and effortless byproduct of living a more beautiful, meaningful, and conscious life. You don't have to adopt all of these principles at once. Choose just one that resonates with you. Perhaps it's to mend a piece of clothing, to pack your lunch with care, or to simply take a long walk in a park. Because the path to financial freedom isn't about feeling poor today so you can be rich tomorrow. It's about learning how to feel rich, right here, right now.